Hi, this is Carl with Relax, Focus, Succeed, and I want to give you a little perspective and some encouragement as we finish up December 2020. I think few New Years in my life have been as sought after and looked forward to as January 2021. So this has been a tough year. There's no way around that. And recently I've been talking to a lot of people who are, feeling like they don't know that they can do another 3 to 6 months. And I just want to encourage you that you can, and the proof that you can is that you already have done more than that. We are more than halfway through this pandemic. And, I encourage you, if you haven't done so already, find out Zoom, go figure out FaceTime, connect with family and friends. I know it's not the same and whatever, but I do have to say, I have 2 or 3 social calls per week on Zoom, and it really makes a difference. A friend sent me a note in a Christmas card recently that said, I don't know what I would have done this year without the Zoom calls. So, you really should make sure that you are doing what you can. And, there have been people who've had health issues themselves, health issues with their family, health issues with, obviously people who've had the COVID. There's also people who are feeling a great deal of stress from being shut in, from not having the social life at work. And I just encourage you to take a little bit broader view. Remember, you can do amazing things because you are a human being. And we are phenomenally resilient creatures. Now, let me just give you a little perspective based on some of my philosophies in Relax, Focus, Succeed. One of the things that I talk about in the book is that we are all many people. And by that, I talk about how, if you think back 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you probably, if you go back, 10 years, almost certainly most of us lived in a different house. We had different friends that we hung out with in the evening. We did different things for our hobby. We went to a different place for work, a different place for worship, drove a different car, probably had a different job, right? Might have been, hanging around a whole lot of different people. And 10 years from now, you will be a very different person. You might live in a different house and have a different job and hang out with different people, right? On and on and on. You may have new people in your life, whether that's kids, grandkids, friends, relatives, right? There's all kinds of things that change all the time. And change is not a bad thing. I mean, most of us create change because we want something to be better. And that's the key. Taking enough control so that you feel like the changes in your life are making things better. Now, let's have a little perspective. Okay, so let's talk about who you are and how you fit in the universe. Bum, bum, bum. There, that's you. There you are. So, I always want to make sure that you remember who you are as a person, as an individual, without regard to the bigger universe. Part of what you have to remember to be successful is, what do you want? You personally as an individual, not as part of a bigger collective. Now let's think about the bigger collective. So there is you and your immediate family. So that might be a kid or 2 or 6. It might be a spouse. It might be a partner. But it's the people who are absolutely the closest to you. And as you grow in age, those people sometimes change, right? But you are part of that collective of some kind of whatever, nuclear type family. But wait, it gets better. You also have an extended family, which in the 21st century, a lot of people choose their extended family rather than just hang out with the people that they're born to be related to. But you know, you've got a group of friends that you see pretty regularly, and when there's no pandemic, you know, you need to hang out with those few people in order to maintain your sanity. So you're probably wanting to see those people more in the year ahead. But there's even more. You're also part of a neighborhood. You're part of a community. And your neighborhood is part of a city. So you've got the city that you're part of, and there you play a very different role. It's probably a lot less personal for most of us. If you don't live in a tiny little city and you live in a really big city, well, that's a less personal thing, but you still have a key role because you're a citizen. You're a participant, you're a taxpayer, right? You have to follow the rules and you hope other people follow the rules, so you've got a safe place to live. There are also communities that begin to overlap some or all of your existing communities, but for example, you've got a community at work. Some of those people are in your city, some are not. You've got a community with your faith community, whatever that might be. Some of those people are close to you, some are not. Some are in your city, some are not. There might even be a few who share your work with you. You have hobbies. So your hobbies include people who do whatever you do, whether that is watching the stars or planting plants or, you know, painting or whatever it might be. Some of those folks are online and some are local. They're all communities that you participate in. You have your profession, which obviously overlaps with part of the people at work. So some people at your work are not in the same profession as you, but a lot of them are. And so that's a community, and you can choose to participate or not participate in that community. At a much broader level, you belong to a state or a province, right? Again, there your relationship is less formal, and you're a citizen, a participant, a taxpayer, but you're also someone who gets some rights and some security from being a part of that community. And that community is part of a national community where, again, you know, most of the people in that nation you've never met. I don't care what country you're in. Most of the people in that country you've never met. But that doesn't mean that you're not part of that community. Doesn't mean that you don't have a role to play as a citizen and as somebody who can contribute to that society. And of course, worldwide, we're all part of the world community. And you know, your role is not to be here, stuck in the middle, paying only attention to yourself and your family. That view of the world will make you feel far more disconnected. When you see yourself as part of a much broader community, it really does make a huge difference. And I encourage you to think about yourself as being a very big, very important part of the world. So many of you know that I started out the year going to Cambodia and helping Agape International Missions with some programs. I'm obviously not the one who goes and rescues girls from the slave trade, but we were helping on sort of the technical side of things. And working with that group really made me feel like I was part of an international community. You know, I travel all over the world and I work hard to make myself part of communities. And sometimes it's a matter of just saying, hey, I'm going to be in town. Can I come over? Right? Do you want to meet for a beer? You have to be consciously aware of the layers of your life. We all lead very rich, full, productive lives to the extent that we choose to participate in it. Don't give up. Don't be downtrodden. You know, a little meditation, a little prayer goes a long, long ways. And I encourage you to hang in there and have strength, because this year is almost over. Vaccines are on the way, and we will get through 2021 together. And the more together we are, the easier it will be to get together. So in the final 2 weeks of December, I encourage you to reach out to people. Reach out to friends and family, whether it's on Zoom or FaceTime or whatever way that you can. Let people know that you're thinking about them. Let them know that you're open to having conversations with them and reconnecting in the new year. You know, the good news about all of this is that it gives us time to stop and think about creating our future with intention. Because as always, you can either let the future happen to you, or you can reply to it and respond to it like a pinball inside of a game and just let the world knock you around. And obviously that's not the preferred way to go through life. So let's, hit the refresh button, restart 2021 on the right foot with a very positive attitude, looking forward to seeing one another in real life. Have a great Christmas, great Hanukkah, great Kwanzaa, great New Year, all that good stuff, and I will see you in January. Happy New Year from Relax, Focus, Succeed.